Welcome back everyone to DIY December Day 9, my series where I show you guys all my DIY tips and tricks in a budget-friendly way. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I made these photo ties. These are honestly very simple to make and you do not need a Cricut in order to do this. This is a great option if you want to give your gift a personal touch, or maybe you want to do a memorial tie to remember someone on the day. Regardless of what option you choose, I'm going to show you exactly how you can DIY these from home. As always, I linked everything on my storefront that I purchased in order to make these. First thing you're going to need is your heat transfer paper. This worked very good with my printer, and my printer is nothing special to brag about. And for this specific paper, you do not want to use sublimation ink. And the only other thing you need is your tie. These were actually very great quality for $9, which leaves me with the total cost of $16 per tie. So in order to get our photos all set up, we are going to head over to canva.com. It is free to use and very easy to manage. Click on the top right button that says create a design and then come to custom sizing. Let's switch that pixel tab to inches, and then we are going to type in 2x2 because that is the size of my inseam for these ties. If you pick a different tie option, just make sure you measure that inseam before you go ahead with this. Really quick, I'm just going to the top left and labeling out my project just so I can remember where my photos are saved to. Once you have a blank square canvas, you want to go to the left side and click upload. You can either click the upload files button or you can click and drag from your desktop. Now I already uploaded this image in, so I'm just clicking from my sidebar and it drops right into my canvas. Now in order to cover the whole inseam of your tie, you want to scale your image up so it covers all of the white that is in this square. And if you remember, the shape of this is more of a diamond, not a square, so I want to go ahead and rotate my image. This will take a bit of scaling and rotating at the same time to get it perfectly placed where you want it. Now unfortunately, the image I have is not reaching all the way across, but it's perfectly placed where I want it. So a trick I do is I duplicate my image, then click the flip button in the top toolbar and hit horizontal. Then I drag my image over to the side and I try to place it pretty evenly so it looks seamless. Now honestly, right there is looking pretty good to me because it's lined up with that pole in the background. Now if you plan on doing more than one of these at the same time, just duplicate that canvas and then add in the second picture and do the same exact thing we just did the first time around. Then once you're happy with the images you've done, we're going to go up to the top right, hit share, and then click download. If you plan on using your Cricut and doing the print and cut settings, save these out as a PNG. I feel like those end up going in best. Or if you're looking to just print these out and then cut them yourself, try doing a PDF best for print. These are just recommendations, but do what works best for you. For today, I am just going to print this out and cut myself, so I'm saving this as a PDF. Once your download is done, it should end up in your downloads folder and give you a nice little preview so you can make sure everything looks good. You can then go ahead and send this to print. Make sure in your print settings that your printer isn't making this scale to fit. Mine always does this, so I have to change the scale to 100%. And I'm just going through a few other settings to make sure this comes out as a good quality print. Now, before you send this to your printer, make sure you're loading in your HTV paper. This is the one I recommended that I showed you guys on my Amazon storefront. And make sure you know how your printer works because I usually have to load my paper in upside down in order for it to print on the right side. The heat transfer paper also comes with this parchment paper to help protect your image when you are ironing or heat pressing on. Another great thing about this paper is it also does come with instructions giving you recommendations on heat settings depending on whether you're using a heat press or an iron. Now, once your images are printed and cut out, make sure you're peeling off the back before you put it onto your tie. Once you like the placement of the image on the tie, go ahead and use your heat press or your iron. I am using my heat press at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. This amount of time and heat seemed to be the perfect amount because both pictures worked out great. If you guys are looking for more money-saving DIY tips and tricks, make sure you're following along.